Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Can you turn the volume up? I actually did. Let me know if you can make it out or not, if it actually makes a difference, because everyone keeps complaining about it. Oh my god, it's my first time live. Appreciate you, Doug. Thank you. Took the Bitcoin trade at 75k, still holding. Chad, love to hear it. Love to hear it. I mean, that's as bottomy as we can get for now. For now. What a day, huh? What a fucking day. Quite quiet. I raced it by 10%. Ouch, that was my elbow. Oh man, dude, when I joined crypto and like the paid groups started creeping up, I would have never guessed that we would get one in the White House. Did you guys see how he tweeted, like how Trump tweeted about buy, and then he cancels the tariffs for 90 days? Absolute, absolute clown show. Aye. Thoughts on Trump bragging about the markets pumping? I mean, there really isn't anything to say. There really isn't anything to say. We're living in a sitcom, yeah. It's fucking absurd. Fucking absurd. Anyway, we got a little bit of bounce. It's a nice candle. Problematic in a way because he never said that the whole tariff thing is off the table. But at least we got a little bit of relief, right? But yeah, we'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about a little bit of the altcoins. I don't really have much time today, but like, I mean, they're all, like, at least the significant ones are up double digits. Even ETH is up 11%. So yeah, we'll go over them quickly, but I don't have much time today. Watch him reverse the tariff pause tomorrow? I doubt it. I think this is gonna last, and then in 90 days we'll see where it goes. Oops. Got pussied out longing 76k, lost money and now sidelined on the biggest recovery of the decade. Yeah, I mean, I told you guys it's a Trump market now. You're entirely reliant on what Trump does. So if you're trying to trade properly without taking into like his opinions and his mind into account, you're gonna get run over. But yeah. Anyway, before we start, shout out to Woo for sponsoring the show. Really appreciate their support. Their links are in the description below if you want to check them out. Okay. Jesus Christ, leave me alone. This computer is not on for that, like not that often, so I get all the updates. Sorry about that. This feels like the fake ETF pump than the real pump. I mean, crypto generally is in a good spot in comparison to everything else, I think. S&P up 10%, it's fucking absurd. Because the whole regulatory landscape changed and Trump can cancel the tariffs, and then like the only thing that would basically come out better out of his presidency would be crypto, right? So we're in a decent spot on that front. It's just he needs to stop nuking markets. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, let's run through the TA. It's not that interesting. Like I said, it's more like a Trump market. That's a little bit cursed. Let's put logarithmic on. On the monthly time frame, one thing of note is that we had like a big breakdown candle, and now we're rounding out, which is good, right? But really, there's not that much of anything here yet. We front ran 70k by a little bit, 71k support by a little bit, and now trading like back in the void. Basically, that one monthly candle that teleported upwards, trading in between resistance here at 94, 95, and support at 70, 71. On the weekly time frame, It's basically the same story, like front ran support a little bit, which is good. I generally like, this is apocalypse kind of like levels to hit, like below 70k would be quite bad in my opinion. It's good that we keep on kind of like trading above 80, but like I said, this is like the TA is a little bit meaningless right now, given like if Trump decides tomorrow to put the tariffs back on, we're all the way back down to 74. If he cancels it outright, we're going to be back towards like 90, 95, maybe even 100k, right? So one thing that he has done quite well in his presidency is that he's made the markets all about himself, for better or worse. So basically, like, he has full control. I think that's quite bad generally for the health of the markets, but it's obviously quite good for someone that likes to be the center of attention. So that's kind of like the situation we're in right now. TA only being like somewhat useful. If you have to fade this move, would it be better to fade it around 84k or 87k? I mean, I'm not fading anything, but also I've been holding mostly. So like I wouldn't want to short. Just generally don't really think there's room for it that much. Like if you're shorting, what's your target? Like you short 86, 87 and you target like 60. I mean, that's somewhat decent still, but also like I said, like Trump cancels the tariffs and you are wrecked on that one. Same thing on the long side, obviously. Like if you want a long here, you are reliant on Trump keeping up the pause / people actually like taking him serious. It's not like he canceled the tariffs. There's still a lot of tariffs on pretty much everyone and a shitload of tariffs on China, which is going to have an impact. So I don't know. Like to me, this is like a really, really odd spot. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see about how it goes. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. Do you think the sectorial tariffs to come could nuke us again, or is that not as important as the country tariffs? I don't understand this stuff at all. I mean, you're asking the wrong guy. I'm not an expert. But as far as I understand, and I didn't really have much time to read into it, everything is still kind of fucked. This is just a bunch of people basically jumping into the market because they think, okay, now that this is stopped, we can rally. And these tariffs are still significant and still quite bearish, generally speaking. But you're asking the wrong guy. And this is why, like, it's been a little bit depressing doing market commentary and just generally looking at the market, because when it's all about macro and it's all about like politicians and all about that kind of stuff, the edge in just trading normally erodes quite a bit. I think if BTC reached bottom and tariff news are good to reverse, where's the best long in ETH in your opinion? Oh Jesus Christ, that closed horrendously. Didn't even realize. I mean, let's say, I like how you framed it. Basically, like you think this is the bottom. Where do you long, right? Because right now this is quite a shit chart, and I'm not entirely sure if this is the bottom yet, but I would like it to be. But if you think this is the bottom, right? Jesus Christ, so difficult. If you think this is the bottom, I think like a dip towards like 1.5. Like you do this and then you go, or maybe you do this and then you go. Like if you think the bottom, that's kind of like a decent-ish bet. It's just ETH's just so screwed, man. Like I wish I could tell you something else, but this chart is completely cursed. Needs a little bit for me to be interested personally, but if you think the way you think, maybe that's the way to go. But for me personally, it needs to at least, and I mean I said the same thing at 2.8, at least reclaim 2K. Like I've kept on lowering my standards on ETH, the price levels where I would be interested in actively trading it. While we're trading up here, I was like, I want to see it trade above 3.7. We didn't, broke down. We traded in here, I was like above 3.4 at least, didn't, broke down. While we're breaking down, I was like at least 2.8 plus in here, we didn't, broke further down. Now it's this. Reclaim that, kind of like turn 2K back into support, and we can have a trade from 2 towards like 2.6, 2.7, and then if this has legs further, that'd be fine by me. But other than that, I'm not gonna personally bet on the bottom. But like I said, if you are and you think this was the bottom, like a dip into the body of the lowest candle isn't the worst in the world. Are you still an ETH believer? I mean, I like it best out of all the altcoins. As in, like, fundamentally wise. Chart wise is horrendous. There's very few altcoins that look okay chart wise. I mean, yeah, this fully capitulated now, ETH BTC. So I get where you're coming from. Like, this is proper capitulation now. I think that should probably end soon-ish, but you never know. If the market keeps melting down like the traditional market, maybe this will be the greatest down-only market the world's ever seen. But this is parabolic, obviously, and parabolas tend to break at some point. One of the few altcoins that still is acting quite strong is XRP. That said, it did break down the 2.10 support, kind of rallying into it right now. So if this is a false rally, this would be the best place to look for a short. Me personally, I'm still like it. It's obviously not optimal, but considering how the market has performed generally, for some reason XRP just doesn't really care. Like, I mean, compared to Solana, that was a good call. I like that. Should have these kind of calls on my chart all the time. But compared to Solana, for example, like that's I can remove it though. That's a pretty good relative move, especially given it outperformed while the entire market went down. I like that quite a bit compared to ETH. Excellent. Compared to, I mean, what else could you compare to? There's not really that much. But even if you compare it to Bitcoin, you're kind of fine, right? It's just going sideways. So that's one of the stronger ones. Nothing's really changed on that front. Litecoin bounced quite nicely, but lost the trend line. On the monthly, it's still barely holding, but it's not that great. Probably gonna, I mean, that looks like it's gonna be a little bit of a loser, but we'll see how it goes. Have you changed any positions at all? No, I have not. I've just been, I have so much to do right now. Don't have the time to micromanage shit. It's fine. Like, I'm just chilling. I bought some on the bottom. Chad, love to hear it. So did Cred die? No, but you're probably not gonna be around for a while. I'll try to cover as much as I can, but he's probably not gonna be around for a while. What do you think about the Fartcoin chart? Jesus Christ. I mean, that's good. That's a really good chart, especially considering everything is going to zero. I like it. Like, everything's at zero. This is still strong, has been an uptrend while the entire market imploded. I mean, that's a really good one on a relative strength basis. Are you following money supply chart? No. Do you think it's shorts and hedge closing today or longs are FOMOing? There must be a ton of sideline money. All of it. I think this is basically just a bunch of people getting squeezed, especially on the S&P. Like, people just expected Trump to just get, like, and I mean, who can fault them? It's just like you're kind of stupid if you're starting to short after a move, like a traditional market move of 20% down. But who can fault them for thinking that Trump might actually do what he's saying? What about Link? I mean, you're asking for Link versus ETH. I think that's like, those are so outlandish charts. I don't really think it makes much sense to look at them. Link BTC, that's not great. Look at that. It's a beautiful chart though. Like high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Endless downtrend. Been downtrending since 2020. Probably still better performing than a lot of other altcoins, but that's the chart. Anyway, yeah, let me answer a few questions and then I'll head out for the night. It's quite late at my place. But yeah, generally speaking, to just run this through again, I think we're kind of still in the same situation that we were in before. People are getting a little bit too euphoric about the 90-day tariff delay. I think the reason why they're getting so euphoric is because it basically, I mean, it is Trump folding, right? Like, don't get kind of deceived by people being like, oh, this is 5D chess, 4D chess. Like, this is Trump folding. Like, everything was melting down and he was just kind of like, oh shit, maybe I have to, maybe some advisor actually got through to him, but it's kind of like Trump folding. And I think a bunch of people are taking that as maybe it's over now, generally. Maybe he'll stop the stupidity. And I think it's possible. But, I mean, that's a tough gamble to make. I would like to see just a little bit of time pass, see if he actually sticks with it, if his advisors can actually tell him, like, what he's doing is being just silly, because it is quite the gamble to just be like, okay, he's not going to change his mind, because he's changed his mind like 15-20 times in the last couple of weeks. And every time someone comes up with an idea of why that was genius. But yeah, at least it's one promising thing, because it's him folding for the first time where it's actually significant. Late, I knew you moved to Dubai. It's the last place I'd ever moved to. And I would have to make a call on Congress, basically being like, okay, Trump supporters are willing to take this and this amount of pain, and Trump is willing to be called in out, and not being in the US, one, and two, just not really having the time to analyze all of it. I don't know, makes it really hard. So right now I don't really have a good read. That's why I'm not leverage trading this. I'm just happily holding. Do you risk my XRP into this pump? Too much euphoria? Yeah, I get it. Like I said, the only good thing that comes out of this is that it shows that Trump can fold. I'm actually a little bit surprised he did, because he's very, very stubborn. But he did fold, so that's a good thing, because that means he can be made to fold, and we need him to stop this for markets to go up. So depending on if he's gonna follow through with that or not, we're gonna be fine or not. Then Abu Dhabi, right? Nah. Can I ask you a personal question? Why do you move out of Germany? Because I wanna surf, and I wanna have a beach in front of my house. Right now, at least. We'll see how it continues to be. Doug, could you say a few words? What was your thought process when long XRP in the end of the last year? I mean, as stupid as it sounds, it's just a crime cycle, dude. I was like, basically, I knew that regulation would turn with the Trump presidency, and I knew that there was a large fan base of XRP and that it had the potential to move big. And then the moment Trump became president, it was pretty obvious that one, regulation would change, and two, that XRP would buy favors with Trump and that would succeed. And all of those things together with like a decent chart, right? So if you look at the chart back at the time, we've had pushed into this resistance a million times. Means that you have a technical setup where the price is just kind of like looking for a reason to go, and then you have like all the other reasons to go as well. And then I was just smashed it. It's things that happen. It's the same with ETH right now, for example. Like if you want to make a good ETH case, you need the chart to look a little bit better, and then you need a good narrative. Like, but the name recognition is quite strong. It just needs the special something. XRP had it back then. ETH doesn't have it right now yet. But if the chart starts coiling upwards and then we get a little bit of a narrative going, you'll see an explosive move on ETH as well. Just because like everyone knows it and everyone is gonna be like, fuck, I should have some exposure the moment it starts going up. Same with XRP, basically. That was one of the many reasons. My ETH is closer to 0 than my entry. Do you still think it has a good shot at ATH this year? I mean, yes, but depending on what Trump does. I fucking hate to say it. Like, I'm not a Trump analyst, but like, as you can see today, it depends on what Trump does. Like this week, like this is just all today, fully engulfed almost the entirety of last week's price action. Like we're just in a Trump world right now. So if he stops the madness, I think it's gonna, yeah. If he doesn't, I don't think it's gonna. So, but yeah, that's about it for today. Sorry for the short stream. I'll try to make another happen. Maybe Friday by myself. Cred's not gonna show up, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for coming by. Big shout out to Wu again. Like I said, their links are in the description. And you guys have a good evening. Bye bye.